live, folks. Welcome
We
to the
are live.
AEG Show.
We're about to start. We're about to get into it, so find your seats.
Yeah, for the most part.
Just wait for Marlon to quit fucking around.
Marlon is our tech guy.
Yeah.
He looks like a skinny version of Kevin Coelho from Kind of Funny.
I hate you so much right now. You have no idea. You sack of... Wow,
Oh, that's good. Kevin Coelho. There, we have our very own Kevin Coelho, and his name is Marlon.
Marlon, the Honduran heartthrob.
I hate you so much right now. I hate you.
What was that called? It was Kenneth, wasn't it?
Rain, sponsor us. Sponsor our podcast.
God.
I sent you guys an email today. I expect a response.
Just think. Marlon, I can hear myself.
Yep, Gus is fucking echoing again. We'll start the episode when we get the audio ironed out.
So Dalton, just so you can see, damn it, I thought the gift would work. So this is Kevin Coelho from Kind of Funny.
Ha! Yes.
Just like Marlon.
Yes, he does. It's all right, Marlon. You're still number one in our hearts.
That's good. It's one of the best ones I think I've done. I never even thought of that. I never once thought of calling Marlon Kevin until I saw him trying to fix stuff. I'm like, that's it. Kevin Coelho.
I hate you so much. You have no idea how much I hate you guys right now.
Good, Marlon. Your
Greg
camera
Miller
looks better like that,
is
by the
a
way.
traitor and a phony. For the listeners out there, Greg Miller is a traitor and a phony. That is all.
That is the opinion of Gustavo, not the opinion of AEG. Let's come on the show sometime. Come on the show sometime and defend yourself against Gus.
It's something that I can tell you guys that it's not fun, but it is what it is.
Dude's got like 1.2 million subscribers or followers or whatever.
That's baby.
We're closing in though. We're closing in. We're about to hit 500, so we'll be there. We'll be there soon.
Baby numbers. I'm telling you this now. When you start getting into PewDiePie numbers, then we can start talking about it.
Oh, we're closing in on him too. You know he's worried. He's been thinking about AEG. He's been losing a little bit of sleep.
He was thinking about T-Series, and now he's like, man, those AEG folks. Oof.
Absolutely.
God, Lord. Absolutely, man. Those AEG folks, man, they're gaining so much momentum. So much momentum.
Traction. It's all about traction.
Marlon, I'm echoing. What's going on with the whole setup?
It's giving me issues the entire freaking time, bro.
That's weird. It never used to give you issues.
I know.
You used to be like the master of this stuff, and now you're like the chump.
Yeah.
I know.
Bit of behind the scenes look, folks. Like this is AEG right here. We just talk shit until we start the episode, and then we start rolling.
Like, did you do something to voice meter banana?
No. The minute when I put on voice meter potato, it's when I fucking don't even get me started on that. Like it's just been awful. Just say these names. It just makes me want to. God Lord, man.
No, I can't hear you at all.
It is not just
Is Dalton muted?
No, I'm just moving my mouth.
Oh, okay.
I kind of want to just cry.
I think you did something.
I'd be
I
in
didn't
the
do
same
anything.
setting. since the beginning, and it's just like the minute I got the laptop, it's just been like. I
Goose,
know
are you echoing now?
Um,
No.
I don't know.
So don't change anything, Marlon.
it's just weird. I think it just does that from time to time because it's not doing anything right now. It's just recording. Oh, now it's recording. But
Well, when AEG takes off and we build studios in Ohio and you guys are all here, it won't be a problem. So be prepared for that. Well, we could build them there if we get big enough. That's a big money area, so. All right, everyone, we're live on Twitch right now. We're about to start the episode here in a couple seconds. I believe Marlon is recording.
yes, I am.
We're getting ready to start. If you don't catch us here, the podcast will be live on all platforms tomorrow morning. I'm ready whenever you guys are.
Let's do it.
You ready, Marlon?
What's happening is that it's recording, but it's recording at such a low frequency. It's like it sounds so what's the word I'm looking for?
Shitty?
No, it sounds good. It just sounds low.
Wait. Does it sound good, or could you raise the gain?
I can raise the gain, but try talking.
All right.
Hey, how are you doing, Marlon?
Marlon, you look good today, buddy.
All right, look, I can, for my part, for my recording, it sounds good. You guys sound low. That's what I'm trying to figure out, why that sounds low.
Can you play it back real quick?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. It sounds low when you play it back.
Let me try. Stop. Now it's recording good.
Well, when AEG takes off, we build studios in Ohio. You guys are all here. Big problem.
Sounds pretty clear on my end.
Shake your hands.
That.
See?
We can move them there if we get big enough. That's a big money area. So. All right, everyone. We're live on Twitch right now. We're about to start the episode here in a couple seconds.
We're a little bit quieter than you, I think.
That's the thing. That's the issue. Try now.
All right.
Like speak and stuff.
Yeah, just talking, because, I mean, I can speak up a little bit if I have to.
My voice. I'm super close to the mic. I wouldn't want to like blow anybody. I hear myself out again.
Yeah, I don't want to fucking Darth Vader this episode too.
What about now?
We're both echoing. I can hear myself and when he speaks.
Yeah.
What about now?
Still yes, for both.
A lot of feedback.
Gotcha.
Sorry, everyone. We are trying to figure out audio right now.
In the meantime, make sure to follow us on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter.
Yeah.
At the AEG Show.
AEG Show. Don't ask us what AEG means, because we don't know.
You don't know. That's right. We forgot.
Why is this thing giving me issues now? Wait, I'm trying to figure out why.
Make sure you guys all tune in on Friday, too. We'll be doing a big unveiling.
It was working so much fun yesterday. That's what happens when I try to be fucking retarded. I am so glad that we can curse in this freaking thing.
Yeah.
Dude, editing out curse words is a pain behind, especially without timestamps.
Pose.
Yeah, that feedback's got to stop.
It's pretty bad, I can tell you.
I can't tell if I'm still echoing. I don't think I'm still echoing now.
I think that I am, though.
Yeah, you still are.
Nope. I don't hear myself anymore. Or do you hear me twice?
No.
All right. Please talk.
All right, Marlon, what's up, buddy?
Kevin, how you doing? What are you watching, Marlon?
Try talking.
Marlon,
So it's really funny because you have it to blur, and your like the Skype stuff is smart enough to blur background except faces. So if you look at your TV, everything is blurred. But when a face comes up and it focuses on it,
it unblurs it.
Face.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That is so stupid.
So not only do you get treated to the AEG show, you get treated to a movie.
Yeah, no, let me. I do not want to get.
I think they're like cooking something.
Yeah.
No, it's pickers. It's History Channel.
Oh, Pickers. That's right. My uncle used to love that show. Yeah, that's right. American Pickers. Yeah, they go trash. Oh yeah, I recognize the fat guy now with the beard.
So those of you just joining, we have not started the episode just yet.
God, Lord.
We're gonna start it soon once Marlon fixes his shit.
Aye. I'm sorry, guys. I'm saying, can you guys hear yourself right now?
No, thankfully we cannot hear ourselves.
All right. I think I probably fixed it already.
Sounds pretty good.
Probably has never sounded so promising. I like it.
All right. Go for it. Just start out.
You recording now, Marlon?
Yes, I'm recording now.
Welcome to the most must-listen to show on the internet. This is the AEG Show, and I am not JB this week. I am DG3. These guys don't call me that. No one calls me that, but that's what I go by sometimes. Almost never. I got Marlon with me, as always. What's up, buddy?
Hey, guys. What's up?
You are the rock of AEG. And then I've also got Gustavo. What's up, buddy?
Secrets.
Every week. We've got a bit of an interesting outline for you. Not a whole lot to talk about this week. Gaming news has been kind of slow, in my opinion. So our outline this week is we're going to talk about Platinum Games. They're going to start self-publishing, and then Epic made a transaction a few days ago that we'll get into a little bit, and then Microsoft details their community guidelines on the speech on Xbox Live. So good luck with that, Microsoft. And then our topic of the week, we'll get into whether or not you should buy collector's editions, limited editions, whatever, why we're going to buy them or not buy them. And yeah, that one's not really, we'll be able to wing that one pretty well. So anyway, Platinum Games. We'll start off with Platinum Games. They're going to start self-publishing, and they typically don't do that. They develop their own games and then outsource for the publishing. Any thoughts on that, Gus? Why don't you lead this off like you normally do?
I will hit lead off. Yeah, hopefully I can hit better than the Mets' current leadoff hitter now. Yeah, so I think it was an interview over at the Video Games Chronicle. Platinum head, I don't know how to pronounce his first name, Atsushi Inaba or something.
Yeah.
He basically said that the studio was going to try to shift over to self-publishing its own games. And he sort of gave examples of like Vanquish and The Wonderful 101, which were amazing games that they made, but they didn't control the destiny of those games because they weren't self-published, which means that they didn't own that IP. What do I think about doing self-publishing? We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's par for the course for a studio like that. I mean, if you look at their trajectory and the games that they put out, like the first one that I come to is Scalebound, which was like a Microsoft Xbox One exclusive, and Microsoft pulled out of the deal. They had been working on that for years. We never saw it come out. We saw some gameplay of it, so we know that it existed. But we'll see. We'll see how it works. I think of Double Fine, Tim Schafer's studio, and they've been self-publishing for a while now. And once in a while they'll mess around with other publishers, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I hope that it goes well for them.
Yeah, they'd mentioned they want to start, like you said, they don't own the IPs in that case, so they can't make the sequels. That's what they said. That's basically what the article said, was so they can make sequels. And I think there's a few games that Platinum, I could think of another one in particular, which is kind of a sequel at this point, but a sequel to Nier Automata, one of my favorite games of all time. That'd be awesome. I don't know what they do, but because I know that is a sequel, and yeah, that was published by Square Enix as well. It was, developed by Platinum Games, published by Square Enix. So that's another one. So we'll see, man. It'd be interesting to see. It's a whole new ball game, though, for sure. Publishing.
I think that, like in today's age, it's much easier for those type of studios to not necessarily have to count on a big money publisher like an EA or Square. Right? We have things like Kickstarter, we have things like GoFundMe, we have things like Patreon, and we've seen studios count on that. And then we also have different avenues like early access, right? So they don't necessarily have to rely on a big publisher to tell them what or what not to make for a game. So I hope it works out for them.
Yeah, so do I. You never wish anything bad to happen, anything like that. So, well, we don't. Some people do, but we never do. No.
People like Marlon.
Never know.
Yeah, Marlon, yeah, because of the whole Japanese thing.
You're gonna bring that back? Okay. It was a one time only.
Marlon, it was not one time, buddy. It was like 4 episodes in a row. At the end, you always threw in a jab. I don't know why, but.
All right, my bad. Okay, I apologize to all Japanese developers out there. Okay?
So yeah, I mean, like I said, there's not a whole lot to talk about there. I mean, it's just Platinum is talking about getting into the publishing business, I guess, and it's really, I mean, they got. Go ahead.
I think it took them. Like when I first read it, I was like, wow, finally, it took you long enough. Um, I don't know. I like Platinum as a developer. They have, like we've mentioned this before on the AEG show. They have peaks and lows, valleys and ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
They'll put out a good game like Bayonetta, Bayonetta 2, Vanquish, Beautiful Joe, and then they'll have like really crappy games like those Transformer games that they worked on and stuff like that.
I kind of forgot about those.
Yeah, I forgot what other games. Didn't they make like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game as well?
I think they did. I'll have to look into that.
I'm not. Sorry, listeners. I really hope that I'm not, but I think they did make like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games, and they did. Yes, thank God I wasn't wrong about that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to look like a fool in front of the listeners.
Yeah, we're live now.
They can call me out, like real-time corrections.
Yeah.
I know, right? Yeah, it was Mutants in Manhattan. I think that was the name of the Platinum game that they came out with.
But yeah, they got the Bayonetta series, which obviously that's published by Nintendo now, but it was Sega before that, and then they're still getting sequels on those though, so I don't know what they're bitching about. No, I'm just kidding.
We play always devil's advocate. Like, think about it like this. Like,
you don't have to pay anybody.
You created the AEG show, right? It's your baby, it's your show, and you created it. But if you did it on somebody else's dime, although you worked hard for it and you were the one that had the vision,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't get to keep any of it, right?
Right.
If you said, hey, I want AEG to do this, the publisher would say, no, you can't. Oh,
Yeah.
I worked hard on it. That's fine, but I paid for it.
I own you, bitch. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, so Platinum Games, for those of you who don't know, it's not even that old of a company. It hasn't been around that long. I mean, 2006, 2007, maybe? I feel like maybe I'm wrong. Don't quote me on that.
They didn't make Beautiful Joe or something for GameCube. I forget. They've been around for a while. It doesn't matter.
No, so yeah, like and maybe now.
He's right. Look, he's right. 2007. He was on the money.
Yeah, I'm a fan of a lot of the stuff they have put. I mean, they put out some garbage too. Don't get me wrong, but I'm a fan of a few of the things they put out. So.
It's funny you say that they came out founded on 2007 because that was the year that I got out of high school. So.
God, you're old.
I'm not that old, man. I could be older. You never know.
Yeah, that's true.
You probably are old.
Yeah. Yep.
In 76.
Not to go on a tangent or something, but you know what? I don't know. I forget who published that game, but you know who should Nintendo published? No, sorry, Sega. You know what? Sega should port over to Switch.
What's that?
World.
Oh yeah.
That was a great Platinum game. That I never played.
It was great, but I never played it.
Everything is great if you had not played it. Let's just leave it like that. Okay.
We're doing a lot of filler right now, guys. We don't want this episode to be 20 minutes long. No, there's not really a whole lot more that I want to add to that. Before we move on, is there anything else you guys want to say about it, or anything you want to say to Platinum Games themselves?
Please, don't put up Bungie. Please, that's all I'm asking. Do your things correctly right from the get-go, and just do everything fine. That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking a lot.
The only thing I'll say is, Hideki Kamiya, please keep on tweeting.
Fair enough. You heard it. You heard it from the AEG show. Keep tweeting. So you know what you got to do. All right. Well, moving on from the Platinum Games self-publishing, Epic Epic, you all know Epic, bad guy Epic. Everyone's pretty pissed off about him. They just bought Psyonix, 4 or 5 days ago now. Which, if you don't know, Psyonix is the developer of Rocket League and other titles too. But Rocket League is the main one. I don't believe they disclosed the amount they paid for it. I don't know if they have yet or not, but I know at the time of reading the article they had not. So yeah, Epic owns Rocket League now, and by the end of the year they'll be making it exclusive to the Epic Store, no longer be sold on Steam. So you want to play that game on Steam, I suggest buying it now.
Yeah, just for the listeners to be clear, like they didn't necessarily say that, but they basically said that in their words.
Mm-hmm.
It was like something along the lines like, man, I don't have the quote in front of me, but they said something along the lines like, up until this point it'll be on Steam, and then after this point it'll be supported on Steam, which probably means that. Oh, here it is. I have it. This will, however, mean some changes for the Steam version of the game. On PC, Rocket League will come to the Epic Game Store in late 2019. Until then, it will remain on sale on Steam, and after that point, it'll be supported on Steam. So that sort of leads to believe what DG3, as he likes to be called, but nobody really calls him that.
Nobody calls him that.
Nobody calls him that. So he's basically right about that. So how do I feel about it? I'll be honest. I don't know. I'm happy for Jeremy Dunham. I'm gonna pat myself on the back. I kind of tweeted at him and I said, "Hey, congrats, you deserve it, the father of Beyond." And he liked my tweet, which was like a super awesome moment for me. I get to do a podcast with my friends every week, and it really was because of Jeremy Dunham that I started listening to gaming podcasts. People talk about One Up, but I started with Podcast Beyond and then migrated to other ones. So I'm really happy for him. He's getting paid his millions that he does deserve.
Yeah, he worked hard, no doubt. But yeah, so and another thing too is it's getting review bombed on Steam because of course it's getting review bombed on Steam, right? People are upset. I guess it's weird because obviously competition's a good thing, but people don't see it like that, I suppose. You're seeing more and more exclusives to the Epic Store recently, especially at the start of this year. And I guess people don't like change, whatever the deal is. I don't know, man. It's just competition can't be a bad thing.
No, never.
I'll talk about it.
All right, just real quick, like I'm a fan of teams. Sorry, the I don't want to be mean. The Hispanic comes out sometimes out of me. So I'm a big fan of Tim Sweeney, and he's very like pro market. He's a very laissez-faire type guy. So I'm a little surprised that he's trying to snatch up all these exclusives to Steam instead of battling it out through the market.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's good for Steam that Epic exists, because I think it's not only good for consumers like us, for the gamer, but it's also good for publishers and developers, because Steam has like a monopoly on like the store, like on the PC gaming space. There's nobody bigger than Steam, right? So all roads cross through their house if you want to have your game sell. So in my opinion, it's a great thing that Epic exists. I just don't like the way they're going about things. I'm of the belief that they're being very heavy-handed about the way they're competing to get notoriety and to get people to come to their service. And then once like the playing field evens out, I think they'll go back to not doing these type of exclusive deals that are sort of anti-competition, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's the thing too is like you said, man. Steam's been around for a while now. Valve, owned by Valve. They've been around for a while now, but now you have not only the Epic Game Store, you have Uplay, which I believe Ubisoft still sells all their stuff on Steam as of now. And then you've got EA Origin, who I don't think they do anymore. They sell all their games, like all their published games and developed games on their own store exclusively at this point.
Yep.
So you're starting to see, not just from Epic, but competition elsewhere. Where like Goose said, Steam used to have the market cornered, and now we're starting to see kind of like a rise in other, even if it's just their own companies selling their own games on their own stores. It's still it still takes away from Valve and Steam. So yeah, I think it's. Go ahead, Marlon.
Oh, sorry to cut you off, Dalton, but I'm okay with that because remember when the Origins first came out and the fit that the gamers threw about that when they were getting a lot of exclusives in the Origins store. And I remember, like, I'm never gonna use the Origin store. It sucks. I'm always gonna use Steam. And now he's like, well, I think I'll get Anthem in the Origin store.
Hmm.
I'll get some of the Bioware games in there. And I'm like, bro, it's competition. Competition drives the market. It makes companies get better. Once you have a monopoly, like Steam and Valve has had over the years, you always get this. Well, since we're the only ones in the market, you have to play by our rules, and it just makes things get stagnated. That's the way I see it.
Yeah,
So
and yeah, that goes right back to the whole competition is a good thing. I mean, I think this benefits the gamers. Obviously, not when they do the exclusive stuff, I suppose, but I mean, one of the complaints I hear all the time is, well, now I've got to have a bunch of different launchers and I have to use, a bunch of different accounts to play games. I mean, I don't personally have a problem with that. One, because it's all right here, it's all right on your PC, so you just have to open a different launcher. I mean, those clients don't take up that much room on your PC, so that's not really a complaint either. Yeah,
I
and
brought that up because I was going to ask you that very same question. I was going to be like, hey, listen, like you're the real true PC gamer among us, and I know that you dabble in all these clients and you have games across multiple game clients. Does
mhm.
that bother you? And you just said before I even asked, you was like, nope.
No, to me, it's no different than booting up my Xbox or my PS4 or my Switch. I mean, it's just a thing that we do. It's actually not even that big of a deal because everything's right here at a click. So it's not like you got to work for it. I mean, I guess with the Xbox, you have to change your HDMI input at least.
Well,
So
I'm glad that you mentioned that because like there's a lot of sentiment amongst gamers, and I never, mainly amongst PC gamers,
mhm.
I've never really understood it. Like they're like, oh no, I would just love it if everything comes out on Steam, and I'm like, but why would you want that? I mean, why would you want Steam to have so much control over the games that you're buying, and when they have that amount of control, which to a point they do, they get to set the parameters in terms of what sells, what gets exposure on their store,
Yep.
what
How much
how
they
much
charge the developers and publishers and all that for each sale? How much?
exactly.
Yeah, and that's another thing that Epic's doing. They're offering to sell these games at take less profit off the top of the developers and
twenty
publishers.
percent,
Yeah,
12%
what's
across the
Valve
board.
at? I'd have to look it up.
So so most stores like PSN, Xbox Live, the Google Play Store, the App Store, Valve, they charge a straight up 30%.
Yeah,
And what Valve has done now, in lieu of Epic giving them competition, is if your game sells, which I personally don't like this. I don't like this new policy that they have. If your game sells like in excess of 5 million, instead of taking 30%, I don't know the exact numbers, but they'll take less. They'll take like 20% or something like that. And I personally don't like that because it rewards the triple A developers who don't need any more money, mind you,
yeah,
and it punishes the small indie devs who need that cut,
yeah,
right? So basically, if you're a small outfit like, for example, Crankage Games, right, he's gonna get screwed because he's not gonna sell those 5 million units, as opposed to Ubisoft, who doesn't need any more money, right? They'll sell millions of copies and they'll get that bigger discount, which to me just doesn't make any sense at all. I'm like, you're punishing the little guys, essentially, is what you're doing.
right. Yeah, and it's fucked up if you really think about it. I mean, like you said, Epic. I believe they're 12% across the board, right? That's for everybody. So, I mean, it's hard to be mad at them. I mean, they're 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 doing something that is better for the gaming community, in my opinion. It's developers and publishers can make more money off their games. They can afford to put out games more often, maybe pay more people to work on these games. Whatever the case may be. And then yeah, and at Valve, I mean, I don't know, they might have to do layoffs and shit. I don't know. We'll see where it goes from here. That's a whole different topic, but
I mean, if I'm a developer, let's say I'm just a small developer, AEG developer, Goose, right?
yeah,
And I put out a game, right? Why would I want to put out my game in Steam? Besides the fact that it's the biggest platform,
right,
right? Because they're gonna take 30% out of every single copy sold. Whereas if I put it on the Epic Store, it's probably got a smaller platform, and it's growing. It's getting bigger, nowhere near as the numbers as Steam, but I can put it on their store, and that's an 18% difference.
Yeah,
An 18% difference in every copy sold.
that's
And I
huge.
sell millions of copies. That's a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah, and Epic's still making their money. You know what I mean? They're still making their money off of these games. So I guess good for Epic, man. And I know a lot of people are seeing them as the villain right now, but if you really think about it, if you think about it in that context, they're almost the good guy. You know what I mean? They're the people for the consumer almost. I mean, maybe with that price cut, then games go on sale more. You know what I mean? Maybe we can afford these games.
Before we move on from this topic, to bring it back to Rocket League, what do you think the the creators of Fortnite can, you know, how can they influence the game of Rocket League going forward? Like, do you think it'll go like its next iteration will
Battle
go
Royale.
Battle Royale, free to play, and they'll go back to their original name of Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Powered Battle Cars or something like that?
Um, yeah, I honestly I don't think Epic's gonna mess with this formula. I think maybe if they make a sequel or something, they'll fuck it up. But I think as of right now, going forward, I don't think it's gonna change anything. Right now, you know what I mean? I don't think they're stupid as a company. I don't think they're gonna do that, but because they're making a lot of smart moves right now, so it's hard to picture them doing something that fucking stupid. But who knows, man? Maybe they'll prove me wrong. I'm kind of giving them props a little bit. I actually don't even have the Epic client downloaded on my PC. I've never even used it, but maybe I should.
Wait, what about the times that I sent you those links for those free monthly games?
Oh, dude, I hate you. I don't even try. I'm like, fuck Goose, and I type that in. I'm like, no. I usually block you for a day or two after that, and then I'll unblock you. You know what I mean? But
Fair enough.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Get free stuff. It's like nope.
99% of the time when you send me a deal or like a free game, I do download it, but I haven't on Epic Store. I haven't done any of those. None of them have seemed super interesting to me at this point. There have been some good ones, but. So now that I'm done throwing shade at Goose,
You didn't throw shade at him. You threw the entire 3 at him.
yeah. So I mean, obviously, Epic Games buying Psyonix is a pretty big deal. I mean, that game's still doing really well, and I can't remember when did that game come out. 4 or 5 years ago now.
Yeah, it originally caught on because it came out as a free game over at PlayStation Plus.
Yeah. And now it's cross-play between all platforms. I'm assuming Epic will, they won't do anything there because they're big supporters of cross-play. It seems like so.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You're right. Rocket League is cross-play, so that's another title that's now under the Epic fold. Because Fortnite was another one that was cross-play. Stubborn as Sony is, we won't get into that, but no, that's right. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
July 2015. That's when it first came out.
2015.
Yep, July 7, 2015. And I remember quite clearly that I downloaded it, played it for 3 hours, and I said, hey, I like it. It's a good, fun, little mini game type game that you can play with your friends, like for a couple of hours and you're done with it.
Yeah.
Well, I had Rob, and I realized that it was not just the game. It was his destiny to play that.
Yeah. I actually gave it shit for a long time. I didn't download it for a while. And then, I won't lie, I downloaded it because I heard it was an easy platinum. And at the time I still kind of am. I was a big platinum whore.
He's owning up to it, right?
Yeah, and so I downloaded it just for to get the easy platinum, and I actually really enjoyed it. I mean, I was like, at first I'm like, dude, it's fucking soccer with cars. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is what kids are doing now. And then I ended up playing it, and I really did enjoy it for a while. I played it for a couple weeks, so. And our buddy Rob is really big into that, so shout out to Rob.
Rob does like the game.
Yeah, Rob.
You're gonna come on the show, dude.
Yeah, Rob, what the fuck, man? But yeah, so it's a pretty big deal. I think we'll see. Like, I guarantee they're gonna make it exclusive to Epic Store. That's what that sounds like to me. But that's, like I said, we'll cross that when we come to it for sure. Goose, did you want to lead off this next topic? It's kind of your topic. It's the Microsoft topic.
I don't really want to lead it off, but I will.
All right.
So, Microsoft, they put out a update to their community standards over at Xbox, and table of contents, their shared values, the content attitude. So that was all fine and dandy, right? And just to be clear, all of us over here at AEG, we all believe in being inclusive and all that stuff that people say, and being nice to each other, right? We all believe in that, right? That's not, we're not against that.
No.
But speaking personally, Goose here, I'm not representing AEG, but Goose here, I had a problem, and many in the industry had a problem with the way that trash talk was, basically the way Microsoft wants you to conduct yourself on their servers. Which again, it's their servers; that's their prerogative. But when it comes to talking trash, I'll give some examples. So acceptable trash talk includes get destroyed, can't believe you thought you were on my level. That was some serious potato aim, get wrecked, like who says that? That sucked, get good, and then come back when Katie's over one. And then they gave examples of what going too far looks like, which is, I read it and I'm like, this is how I speak to my friends all the time. Get sexual threat, can't believe you thought you were on my level, which basically means get fucked. Hey, profanity, that was some serious potato aim, get wrecked. And then my favorite one, you suck, get out of my country. Maybe they'll let you back in when your Katie's over one. So my issue with this is not so much Microsoft saying, hey, this is what we would like and expect from the users on our platform, but how precise they were in detailing speech. And although they're not telling you how to speak, they are suggesting how you should speak. And I sort of had a big issue with that, because I don't think they should be telling me how to speak, or anybody else for that matter. And real quick, before I shoot this off to Marlon, I applaud Microsoft for trying to moderate, but like I told the guys on the Discord, I think like a light touch is better. Like moderation is extremely hard, and either you ban everybody or you ban no one. And I think that they should break out the ban hammer for people who egregiously and continually abuse the system, as opposed to people who are just having fun and may not necessarily want to speak a certain way and may just want to swear or storm, the way I do sometimes with his friends.
Yeah.
So my issue when I first heard the story was the fact that when I was like you, I was reading the guidelines as Microsoft were putting them on, and the one with the country one made me laugh, because I'm thinking, okay, so you're gonna try to please how people talk in the Microsoft servers, even though people from different countries in different areas of the world that may be interacting with each other, that may not necessarily be from the same country, not be living in the same area. it's dumb. It's the internet. That's like you said, Gustavo. You need a very light touch on this thing, because you're gonna go pissed off a lot of people, and when your customers get pissed off at you, they will let you know. And I mean, my point in the whole thing is, yeah, people are gonna be trolls. People are gonna just mess around with each other and just say bad words. There's a point for me when it's like becomes like death threats, and just actually like just hounding the person over and over, even when they're not playing in the same game. That's when I'm like, okay, that's not cool. But if you're just playing around in a video game and somebody says, "You suck, bitch," I'm not gonna just make it throw a tantrum with that. It's. I feel like we're getting into like this whole discussion of like people are getting very sensitive about how things are, and just getting very, the word trigger about it.
He said triggered, by the way. Go on, Marlon.
I hate you so much, you piece of shit. Okay, so my accent
Domination.
I hate you so much right now. But yeah, that's the way I see it. No, I'll give it back to Dalton here, Mr. Extremist Extraordinaire, and I'll do it like that.
Extremist, yeah. Yeah, I think it's weird. I mean, obviously, I don't know. Obviously, if you're throwing out slurs and shit like that, then that's a different story. And believe me, I've heard that shit online a lot. It's usually some like 12-year-old kid dropping the N-bomb over and over again for some reason, thinking they're cool.
He wants to be cool,
Yeah, and that shit's fucked up. But
Fast afterwards.
Yeah, I wish I could meet half the people I played online, because that's a topic for another time. Yeah, it's weird. Like, how are they gonna police this though? Are they gonna they're gonna have, obviously people are gonna report it, right? That's gonna be like a thing that'll have to happen. I mean, they're not gonna have some dude just sitting there with his headset on listening to all these conversations, right? So, I didn't read too much into it, but I don't know, man. I think obviously there's a difference between trash talk and toxicity for sure. I don't know, man. I just don't see how they're gonna go about this. You know what I mean? And it gets kind of scary. Like, it gets like like, are they listening? Like, um, go ahead,
Can you
Marlon.
imagine, Dalton? Can you imagine, like the guy's trash talking the other person? You suck. You don't know how to play this game. Go back. And the guy who's listening going, yeah, you do suck. Okay, can you please stop playing this game? Starts hitting on the other guy.
I'll I'll be honest. Like for me personally, like I think I'll be pretty I can't even. I'm not gonna say the word because I can't get it out.
He's Hispanic.
I think I'm pretty inoculated against this because, like, my thinking is when I do play online, I usually play with friends. Like, I rarely chat with randoms. Like, that's just not a thing I
Yeah.
personally do, and many people don't do that either. And then in the event that I do play with a random or come across somebody who I don't know, like I'm mature enough where I know how to comport myself. I'm just worried about like the trash talking that goes on between my friends because like me and my friends when we play online we say some pretty not nice stuff to each other, things that would get people triggered. We do drop n bombs. We do say words like fag, right, which is not acceptable in today's standards, right? But that's among us, right? And I would never want anybody to police what I say to my friends because those are my friends and there's context there. We speak like that to each other. And although you may judge and say that's not how you should do it, I'll be like, that's fine. That's how you think. We've been talking like this for years and we're okay with it, right? So who are you to tell me how to address my friends?
Right.
So that's for me where I don't like it, where I'm like, I get I get how you would not want me to do that against a random. Okay, I get that too. I would never speak to somebody who I don't know like that.
No, absolutely
Um,
not. And then if
but with
someone
my
spoke to you
friends,
like that, you beat their ass. You know what I mean? It's
Exa- exactly. Yeah, I know. Like I know. Like all right. Yeah, I'm not gonna play with this guy ever again. I'm gonna mute him. Right.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
not somebody I want around my. Not this is not somebody I want to play with or want to be around.
yeah,
But again, with friends, just the like, man, I just know how we speak to each other. It's
yeah.
just
And you got to think too is like we might be the minority here too. Like you and I, maybe Marlon, we'll just let that shit go. Like we're not gonna sit there and argue with people online like a bunch of fucking idiots. Like that's just not us. But some people, man, they'll sit there and they'll go back and forth with these people, and I don't know. Maybe it sounds stupid to us, but other people do that. So I guess maybe that's what they're talking about here. But yeah, like you said, if when you're playing games online with your friends, you don't want them policing that, right? You don't want them like listening in on your conversations with your friends. I mean, because that can get pretty toxic. I mean, the way I talk to you guys on the show sometimes is is probably not fair, but or it's probably offensive to some people. So yeah,
it's not offensive to us.
no, because we're all
So
buddies here. We're all doing a show. We're trying to
exactly.
have a good time, and
Trying to get
yeah,
You're trying to get offended by somebody else's standards. Like that doesn't work. I mean, I've seen people that get offended for me, and I'm like, why are you getting offended for me? I'm okay with it. I've known these
right,
guys for years. They're just my buddies. That's just the way we are. And I've seen some people that get really triggered by it.
yeah.
And I'm sorry. That's just the history that we have with each other. I mess with them, they mess with me. I have no problem with that.
That,
If you have a problem with that, that's a you issue, not a mine issue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that goes back to Goose saying like, "Hey, me and my friends say this shit to each other, but you know what I mean." And me, like you've heard me talk shit to Marlon a couple times. Marlon knows I'm not racist against Hondurans or Hispanic people. Gus knows I'm not.
Yes.
Anyone that knows me knows I'm not a racist. But I do. Like you guys are my friends, and I say some pretty racist shit to you guys because you guys are different. You guys are a different race than me, and it's funny.
Like for example, like me, like Dalton and myself, we had been playing for like a long time, like probably years. And then when he finally saw me, he's like, "Oh wow, you look like a Mexican." He didn't say that. He didn't say that. I'm kidding. But if he would have
Like
said that, it would have been a joke. It would have just been in good fun between friends.
So yeah,
the
that go
the
ahead,
best one
Marlon.
for me the best one for me, and this was the episode that happened a long time ago with me and Dalton. So when I first met Dalton, he says, "Where are you from?" I say, "I'm from here," and he says, "No, you're
You're
not."
not.
Like, this is like because this is me first time playing a video game and just actually hanging out with people that I've never met online. And I'm going, uh, I'm from Miami. No, seriously, what are you from?
I didn't buy it. It's not that I'm racist. I just didn't buy it. I thought he was. Yeah, I thought he was lying to me, and I didn't think that was cool of Marlon to be a liar. No,
To my own grace, I did say the truth. Maybe not the not the full truth. Maybe it was partially truth, but the full truth was said. At least later on.
and guess what? Now Marlon and I do a podcast together. We run it. We run a gaming page together. So, yeah. So, yeah, like you said, I mean, I guess police the morons that yell at each other online, I suppose, but there's a fine line. You can't go into you can't go into a TMSG group chat and fucking listen to what those guys are saying and then start banning them. You know what I mean? Because you'll have to ban every single one of them fucking guys. So.
That happened. What was the thing that happened to us in TMSU one time when? Oh yeah, Gustavo told me that my friend Justin, listen, Marlon, he loves going outside. He loves spending time in the sun. He's gonna be a little bit darker than you're normally accustomed to. And I'm thinking, oh, he's just lying to me. He's just
You make a lot of dark skin and light skin jokes. Is what he's gonna tell you.
no. But the thing is this: like he tells me that he's like, oh, he's just being hyperbolic about it. I went to Las Vegas. I met my friend Justin. And the first thing that came to my mind, going, damn, this guy's tan. Like, man, Gustavo, you were right. But just a great dude, man. Just think it's a great dude. But, man, is he? Okay, here's the thing. He loves saying that he's light skinned. Okay, you have to understand. This guy always says to him that he's light skinned. I'm like, bro, your idea of light skin is not the same as mine. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, look.
Light skin.
He's Michael Jackson when he was part of the Jackson 5.
Dude, yeah, look how white I am. For real.
So it's like you just gotta be friends with each other. You just gotta know what type of thing you can say to a person, and you just gotta be, respectful. If they tell you, hey, listen, I don't like that type of talk, and they're like, okay, that's fine, no problem with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Well,
if you're
yeah.
okay dishing it out, if you love dishing it out, you have to take it. Okay, that's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Maybe Microsoft can rewrite that policy. You dish it out, bitch.
I'll be honest. Like I commend, and I guess I'm gonna take a dump on the industry a little bit, because I am right of center on many things when it comes to stuff like this. But I commend Microsoft for setting the guidelines of what they would like their community to be, and hopefully they don't go overboard with the ban hammer, right? Like Dalton said, hey, just ban the shitheads who deserve to be banned, but don't go around policing folks who, when you take it out of context, you're just having fun and just ribbing on each other.
Right.
But honestly, this whole story, even though I was the one that brought it up, I think 10 years ago, this wouldn't have even been a story. They would have updated their terms of service or their community guidelines and updated that stuff, and we would have never heard about it. It just would have been a thing because that just would have been part of the zeitgeist. It wouldn't have been part of the social conversation that we have now about safe spaces and trigger warnings and all that stuff. It just would have been something that they did, and we just would have got over it.
Yeah.
Now, just because of the world that we live in, it just takes a bigger meaning.
Yeah, and a lot more people are online now too. I mean, that's another thing too. It's a lot bigger than it was 10 years ago, and
for sure.
Shit's changed a lot in the last 10 years. I mean, fuck, look at 2009 to now. I mean, so I get it. I like you said, I commend Microsoft for doing what they're doing. I think they have the right idea. Like, what's that saying? Their heart's in the right place. But I don't know how it's going to turn out. I don't think anyone truly does. I don't think even Microsoft truly knows how this is going to work out. But I guess we'll see. It's going to happen regardless, though, right? So we'll have to wait and see. Just don't be a toxic asshole.
That's it. That's pretty much it. Yep.
Just don't be me. I'll say that.
Yeah, don't be Marlon. Don't be a fucking hater.
Like my grandmother, my great grandmother didn't make this up. Rest in peace. I'm positive she didn't make this up. This is just a super old idiom, but I remember her saying it constantly when I was a kid, to me and her other grandkids. She always used to say, if you don't have anything to say, if you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say it. And then one of her favorite ones was, oh man, I forgot it. Oh, that's what it was. Wait. I totally blanked. She was like, the best words was left unsaid. So like, if you don't have anything nice to say, just really think about it. Just be like, hey, is this worth me getting banned over? Is this
Yeah.
person who I don't know halfway across the world? Do they really get me this amped up for me to say something nasty? Is it worth it? No. Am I ever gonna see this person? Most likely not. Just let it go. Mute them. Like when I play, like one of the few games that comes to mind is COD, and not because this is not indicative of the COD community, although it may be. But every time I play a COD, whether it's a new one or an old one, the first thing I do is I mute everybody in the lobby. I mute my team members. I mute everybody else. As soon as I get into a lobby and I hear music, because I hate it when I hear
Oh, I
music,
hate that.
that person gets muted. Like I don't want to deal with any of that stuff. I just mute them.
The thing for me, I love doing that, and I know how much you guys hate it, and I love just coming into the chat room and going blasting some 80s song or something like that, like Lionel Richie, hello.
Yeah. But that's different, though. You don't sit there and play the whole damn song. You come into the lobby and you play a quick little intro, and we're like, oh, yeah, Marlon's here. Fuck. And then we usually leave the party. But, yeah, it's not like you're playing the whole song. It's a little bit different, Marlon.
I remember something that a teacher put up a poster back in my middle school years, and it was meant to teach their students something. It says, think before you speak, but before you speak, think.
Yeah.
And the word this big.
It's shit that you've been hearing since you were a kid. We all heard that shit forever. I mean,
One thing.
Goose heard it from his grandma. I heard it from Bambi. So, the same thing, different source.
Also happens to be my grandma.
Yeah. So,
Here's the funny thing. Some guy at the end of the year load up the poster and did think before